Welcome back to the Believe in Badger Football podcast on the Believe Podcast Network, presented by betonline.ag. Once again, I'm Matt Perkins, joined as always by Badger legend, the Hebrew Hammer himself in Madtown, Matt Bernstein.
In Madison, 2 games in a row, watched the blowout.
Second one was a lot better than the first.
The second was a lot better. You know, we don't have to. We could probably spend 5 minutes on this.
I know,
but we'll do 15. But yeah, it was beautiful. I loved what I saw. I thought we had some guys step up who we need for this week coming up.
Definitely.
The Jets, the Mets, the Yankees, and the Giants all won. First time in like 20 years, maybe less.
That's incredible.
Incredible.
That's incredible.
And we haven't had a blowout like this in at least 10 years either. So
it's been a minute.
It's been a great weekend.
That's good. I'm glad to hear. Well, before we break down the game, I want to remind you guys that we are presented by betonline.ag. BetOnline is the fastest and the easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports, contests, and events with first-to-market odds and lines. Find reviews for every league. You name it, they've got it. Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NFL, NHL, combat sports, esports, golf, college baseball, college basketball, college football. I mean, it's there.
Paintball.
Why not? It's probably there too. They are the top online resource for all your sports information, live in-game bettings, props, futures, and more. Head on over to the website today or use your mobile device to sign up at betonline.ag and use our promo code BELIEVE50, that's BLEAV50, to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts. I always want to say use our promo cologne. I don't know if that's something you could spray on yourself and get a discount. I'd be here for a promo cologne. If I just sprayed something on myself to get 50% bonus on a deposit, I'd do it.
Tom Ford, I would spray myself all day with that.
I haven't worn cologne since I lived in Madison.
I haven't worn it either. Once you had to not wear it in the office, I stopped just buying them.
Yeah, absolutely. Even
Sadly,
when I had to wear it,
now everyone stinks. No, I'm just kidding.
Even when I had to wear it in the office, I stopped buying it. I didn't buy it, but that's a different story for a different time.
It's called soap, people. Just use soap.
Yeah, soap and water. It's a beautiful thing.
It really is. It's gorgeous.
Time for Monday morning. Oh, just like you, sir. It's time for Monday Morning Fullback, where our favorite fullback and myself put 15 minutes on the clock to talk about what we just saw yesterday. As we record here Sunday night, and Bernie, what we saw yesterday was a massacre. Like it was an absolute massacre. I'm gonna start. We'll start with the good. I thought that was Graham Mertz's best performance since his opening game against Illinois. He had the one bad interception where he just stared a guy down and looked like last season. Other than that, I thought he was really good, and I thought a lot of that had to do with the fact that the offensive line was much better pass blocking. He had more time. Where Graham Mertz is at his best is when he can throw deep. He's got a great arm, great arm. He may not be as accurate underneath as someone like Alex Hornibrook, but he hits those middle to deep balls better than anyone we've had at Wisconsin since Russell Wilson. And him and Skylar Bell were on point together. Clay Cundiff looked awesome. Hayden Rucci out in the passing game at tight end position looked really natural out there for a big kid his size. And we saw a lot from DK. I was just super impressed with the passing game overall, but especially Mertz.
Yeah, listen, he went 12 for 15. He had one. Was it tipped? I heard it might have been tipped. From my angle, it wasn't that easy to see. From my angle, though, our O linemen look like giants compared to a high school line. So take it with a grain of salt. I'm very proud of our guys. I think we all around played extremely well. 25 guys played on defense.
Yeah,
awesome. Jimmy is so much more. I don't know what the word is, better. He didn't need the shutout.
That's the word.
Right?
It's better.
He's just better, but he didn't need the shutout, right? He put guys in. They played the whole time. He started putting them in before the offense did.
Yeah,
we're up 35-0 at half. Start putting the twos in. We need the twos.
I was glad. I was glad the ones played those first couple of drives in the third quarter. I think that's important to be able to re-engage after halftime, even if it is a blowout. Because we've saw Bernie. I mean, you watched NFL football today. I mean, you saw what the Dolphins did after they were down 20. I mean, a team can come back on, even if you're up 35, they can get back in the game. So you have to go out there and continue to, put your pedal to the metal, at least early in the third quarter, and really get it out of hand.
Listen, I completely agree. I'm not sure if the ball was tipped. Also, that play looked like the play we scored on a couple plays previous. So I don't know if it's we're just doing the same vanilla plays and we're asking, listen,
I'm
it's
not going to think
no
about
matter
it too
what.
much.
We I feel like it's the one mistake he made. And
Hmm.
listen, dude, as everyone will say, if he has 3 touchdowns and throws 1 pick, I'll take that all day.
Yeah.
He looked in sync with his guys. He made some great throws. He looked comfortable. He looked pretty clean. Listen, this is 3 games in a row he's put together. So this is a right now. Yes, they were not as stout of a team as we're going to see, but he is still playing his best football in a row, consecutive.
Hmm.
So that to me shows that he has improved dramatically. Once again, though, I would tell him, dude, just play your game. Yes, it's Ohio State. We might ask you to do some bigger things, but play your game. Right now, play your game. Don't overthink things. Don't go in there and try to make something. Don't in tight windows make them happen. Just play your game. I thought the O line played well because they were playing against like their little brothers.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
they were probably 50 pounds heavier than every single D lineman. But you know what? Our coach always said, like, listen, it doesn't matter who's on the field, you dominate them. And we did that.
Yeah.
Isaac Garendo right off the bat looked awesome. So the thing I feel bad about New Mexico State is our third string running back is a starter at any other school. Any school, pretty much almost every single school
He's so
in
good.
D1 football. He's so good.
Dude, Ches was awesome too.
Awesome. But see, we have these guys.
Ches looked fantastic.
They're awesome. Braylon didn't have to do anything special, and here he did. So, it's exciting to see our offense play really well against a team we should have done. Like, we should have blown this team out.
Yeah.
So it gets me excited. I love seeing the twos go in. I think
Me
it's
too.
so important. You never know what happens in a football season. 25 guys played on defense, I think. That's a lot of guys.
So and
awesome.
and I'll say Burkett looked good at quarterback.
He did. He had 4 for 5.
And he looked poised. Like he wasn't trying to scramble too much. Like he stayed in the pocket. Like he let it. He let himself sit there. And a lot of young quarterbacks, they're going to take off if their first read isn't there. And he sat. And he and Dean Ingram clearly had connection. Ingram looked really good out there with the twos, and that was really exciting to see too. Mm-hmm. I loved seeing Bell go off. I liked seeing DK get a couple catches. Those first 2 misses from Mertz, where he missed DK basically twice on the long out. They seemed to get in sync after that, but it did take a second for that.
We still started a little slow. I mean, if I had to go with a few bad things, we were just going to keep going good for a little bit?
No, go bad.
Well, we could. Well, I would say our special teams is better, but we're playing against New Mexico State.
Yeah.
So, we went 1 for 1 on a field goal, which to me is a happy day after watching last week.
Well, what's better is that they converted inside the red zone and got touchdowns, and weren't just attempting field goals.
Right. So, listen, we're trending in all the right areas to go play a Ohio State at Ohio State.
Yeah,
that's a big feat. We're asking these dudes to do a big feat. But you know what? To me, it's consistently get better. Listen, let's go. You guys have gotten so much better since game 1. Game 2 was terrible. Look at what you did. Mm-hmm. Some people come out. Now, I still think, so if we go bad, I think we need to start faster. We need to shut a team down. Listen, let's go good for a second. We scored in every quarter.
We did.
That's good. We should have scored more in the first quarter, though.
Yeah, 7 in the first quarter is a little concerning, but 20 in the second makes up for it.
It makes up, but to me, we're not starting fast enough, right?
Yeah,
so that's something
absolutely. And I was getting worried for some of the play calling early because it was that same vanilla run stuff, and I was
Mexico State.
I was like, come on, guys, can we do something? Can we do something? And then actually, once they got off script, once they got past those first 15 plays, I felt like I don't know. I assume that this was Ingram letting. I'm going to assume that this was Chris letting Ingram call some more plays and letting him open up a little bit, because that's when we saw the receivers were more open today than they had been since Quintez Cephas in 2019.
Right. Yep.
And that was a huge deal. Yes. Okay. They're playing New Mexico State. All of the grains of salt over my back. Still, they were open. And Graham was hitting them for the most part.
And to me, that's extremely important, because that's what it's all about. It doesn't matter who you're playing. If you can do these things, you'll be a good team. And I think it sets us up for me, in my mind, to be productive again at Ohio State.
Yep.
You
The
know,
things that I guess for me it is a worry now is starting to get to be safety depth because Torchio went out with an injury. You've already got Hunter Wooler out with an injury.
mhm.
I think at this point, Leitu is the best safety that's playing. I think Leitu's been playing awesome. On the stat sheet, he didn't really show up. It said like one tackle. Leitu was everywhere. He looked great to me. I think he well, obviously with the injuries, he's going to be starting, but I think he needs to be starting even if everyone's healthy. I think he's one of the two best safeties on the team.
That and he doesn't need to make any tackles against New Mexico State. Like
No,
we didn't need him. We didn't need him down there. Um, that kid last week in a game that was very tight played extremely well.
yes,
And
he
I think
did.
the stage gets bigger. And for dudes like Herbie and him, and how do you pronounce this guy's last name? 55. He was awesome.
Jung Meta,
He was awesome too.
Muma,
Yeah. So
Muma
you
Jung
have
Meta, Muma Jung Meta, not
you
Meta Meta.
um I'll never be able to pronounce it right, but
It's
I
okay. That's what I'm here for.
he was phenomenal. Exactly. He was phenomenal.
Yeah, no, interception, another interception, and him and Jordan Turner look like a beast of a pair down there
Yep.
in the middle. And Jordan, I don't think Turner had his best game of the season yet, but Mumu was there. I mean, Herbig again, just in the backfield all day.
Yep.
He
You can't stop
lives
that guy.
in the backfield. He
Yeah, you
lives in
can't
the
stop him.
backfield. I need to look up the career sack record at Wisconsin because I think he has a shot.
It's Tarek Salah.
Is it really?
I think it is, and I think it'll be very hard for anyone to break. Is it career? Oh, career.
Career.
Career will be tough. I mean, you know what? I know it's Tarek because he made it. I think he was inducted into the Hall of Fame for that reason. Um, listen, also big stages to me are where guys outshine. You know, like Latu. I think he's going to be. You'll see him do some special things. He's not getting lost in the limelight. Like he's shining there. Herbie shining. I think some of these guys, first off, those guys are leaders now. They're going to be followed.
Absolutely.
You know, all the dudes are going to be playing at a different level. I think coming this weekend, I think you'll see it, man. Like we have to turn into like the rabid dog. Like we're 15-point underdogs already.
Yeah.
And
I mean, are you surprised? I mean, Ohio State is a machine.
No, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. But here's the thing. We can beat this. Like we can beat any team we want if we play well. And we had four, I think still bad. We still have what, 4 penalties or 5 penalties for 50 yards. Much better than 100. But 50 yards against Ohio State is a big difference. That's a field goal, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we still got to really, 1 to 2, maybe. If you start getting to 3, 4, 5s, we're in trouble against a team like that. I think 1 turnover, got to clean that up. But if he has 3 touchdowns compared to 1, if he has 6 and 2, I'm okay with that. We're going to win games with that.
By the way, the record is Tarek Salah, 33 career sacks. Nick Herbig has 14 sacks in 23 games.
Ooh, Tarek, you better. Next time I see you, I'm going to ask you about that. Listen, then it could be broken.
I mean, if Nick sticks around for a 4th year.
Well, that's the thing.
He's already got. He has 4 sacks in 3 games this year. Like he's on a pace this year.
Right, but we always say like, why should he stick around?
Yeah,
if he
exactly
to what, break a record? No, go start records in.
If you're going to be a top 3 round pick, you go.
Yeah, and he will be.
Oh yeah.
In this day and age, with the way you need a rusher, oh my God, he'll be top 2.
Yeah, I mean his size. I mean he will get knocked from being 6'2", 225, 230. Like. But at the end of the day, like, can you get to the quarterback or not? That's all that really matters. And I mean, he trains with his brother, who is and a bunch of Philadelphia Eagles every summer, and he can prove himself with them. I have 0 worries about Herbie.
Zero worries. I would love for him to do it as fast as possible. That would be great.
Good for him. That would be great.
I know Tarek. He would probably be happy if he broke it.
I hope so. I hope so. Tarek's someone I would love to have on this show.
Yeah, he's a funny guy.
Yeah.
He's a funny guy.
He's got a lot of stories.
He'll never tell him
a lot of stories that he would never tell. Is what I was going to say. He's got a lot of stories. Okay, so let's put a bow here on New Mexico State. I mean, you were in the stands. How did it feel like on TV? I will say, like, I was actually pretty impressed with the crowd for being New Mexico State.
Me too. I think the 2:30 game is where it's at. You could post up at Wando's at 9:15 a.m. Walk down Regent, stop at 4 tailgates. and still make the game and feel great about it. It's exciting to be in the stadium. It was electric. The student section was on fire. Everything that happened was great.
You
I
saw
don't know.
everyone. You saw
I saw
everyone while you were
everyone.
there.
We had Darren Jones on this
Hmm.
on the podcast earlier. I was screaming for him. I'm like waving to everyone. I think my wife and her sister and brother-in-law, or my brother-in-law and sister-in-law, must think that I'm nuts because you can hear my voice like I'm dying. I was screaming for everyone, saying hi to people. They're like, "Who are all these people?" I saw Dale Hackbard, who got inducted into the Hall of Fame, took a picture with him, and I've known Dale for 15 years. So like the stuff that game day to me is a little bit more special maybe than everyone else because really like I go there and I obviously blood, sweat, and tears, but like I really love the people that have been there, and a lot of those people have been there. Doug Teat, who's now assistant athletic director, Linda Wilkins, who's Barry's executive assistant. Like you see these people and they run up, Bernie, big hugs, so happy, and like I think it's just a little different. If anyone here wants to have an absurd game day experience, I think I am the person to just lucky enough. Jim Rutledge from ESPN Wisconsin walked by. I'm like, Jim, what's up, man? How you doing? Hey, how's the fam? I got two kids. He's like, you coming to the ESPN? I'm not on the list. He's like, I'll put you on the list. How many people are you? It's like that love and that, I don't know, Badger connection, and everyone is important. To me is so special about game days, right? I walked into Wando's. They're like, you again? I'm like, you better believe it. So like, it just
You're in
warms
your
my heart,
element.
as you can hear.
You're in your element.
Yeah, even like I went to the volleyball game on Friday night, and it was
Oh, that must
awesome.
have been. I mean, that must have been incredible. It looked amazing.
Set a record. Some dude at the Kohl Center wearing security. He's like, "Hey, I saw you last week." It's just like the niceties. Like I say hi to everyone. I say thank you. Excuse me. It was awesome. The volleyball game was spectacular. Then well, they didn't win, but
I know
it was close.
tough, but
but then to go on. So like, let's put a bow on it. What's it? How much time do we have, by the way?
We've got 3 minutes.
Okay, let's talk about how exciting it is to go to Ohio State.
Let's do it.
Because in 04, we did that. We won. They only showed videos of us being successful there, right? And previous, I guess when I was there, that was a game when we were losing like 7-0 or 14-0, and then we scored 40 unanswered points. Yes, Ron Dane was there. Got it. The year after, we won there with Brooks. And then the 2 years they came here, we lost in 02, I think, and then won in 03, which was a crazy game.
I mean, that was 03 was the Shabert to Lee Evans game.
Shabert, it was awesome. And then in 04, we knew we were going there. Guys from Cleveland, Dantes was like the most vocal, yelling and screaming during even stretch. He's like, we're going in here, we better win. These are all my guys, like my friends. My brother played here. He's like, we're going in and we're going to win. Everyone better believe it. Like it was bananas, like how pumped dudes were. I can only assume that that's what it still feels like, but for us, it was like we were so tuned up that week that like we knew it was going to be a special day. And we sucked in the first quarter and a half. And then AD had that long run off the edge, and that was it. Like we were on fire.
Yeah.
Our O-line beat the living something out of their D-line. AJ Hawk, I mean, I respected you to death, but I was blocking him all day.
Yeah.
All those guys.
Dude,
it was like
I remember that game well. You were lighting him up on power in the middle. Like it got ugly. It was one of those games, but by the fourth quarter, you could tell they didn't want to be blocked.
Well, that, and I came in with a chip on my shoulder saying, I'm the best fullback in the land, and these are the best linebackers.
Yeah.
And AJ Hawk is number one, probably in the nation. Whoever was in the middle and whoever was on the other side. AJ Hawk still had probably 30 tackles. He chased, his motor's sick. He chased every dude down. I was impressed beyond belief, but I was still like, I am going to try to blow everyone up in Ohio State.
Yeah, it was AJ Hawk and Bobby Carpenter. It was those two guys.
Carpenter, but he was the guy who choked Sorgi, right? The year before. So I was like full go on. Bobby Carpenter had a target on his front. I was like, dude, I'm not even going to cheap shot you. I am going to put my helmet on your helmet and make it hurt more than it hurts me. So look, you can see how excited, like I'm pumped to watch next week. Listen,
we all are.
We're 15-point underdogs. You know that going into it. They're going to look at us and say, it's Wisconsin. They're always good, but they lost to Washington State, yada, yada, yada. And we're going to come in like thirsting for blood.
Notre Dame's defense held that team to like 21 points, 24 points, something like that. And no offense to Notre Dame, Wisconsin's defense is better than Notre Dame's.
But are you kidding? First off, we could have had a shutout, but Jimmy just doesn't care about it.
Yeah.
I love, like, when I saw the twos go in, like mid third quarter or whatever it was, early third quarter.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the one.
And they were getting what I mean, even in the second quarter, they were bringing a lot of guys in to have reps with the ones. So you were seeing a lot of the guys in the 2D. You're seeing your Daryl Petersons, your Jake Cheneys, a lot of those guys getting meaningful reps in early. So
important. And Jimmy is that guy. He's playing the long game. He's not like, oh, my defense needs to be, unscored upon. He's like, these guys are going to play it at some point. Like that's what I love about it. I'm just excited. This is the biggest test. Anyone who plays Ohio State this year is the biggest test. It'll see what we got. And I think our guys are going to say, challenge accepted. Like, let's go in there and
we know no one is scared, right? We know no one is scared.
Right.
And so it's going to be fun. I wish I had the physical ability to travel to Columbus, but I don't. So, alas, I won't be going. Are you going to Columbus?
I'm not. I can only do so many game days without one. I miss my daughter. I like hanging out with her, even though she will like turn around, laugh like this, like laugh, and then do something she knows she shouldn't do. Yeah. And I can't stop laughing.
No, of course not.
She threw so much stuff on the wall today, and I was like, oh no. And I'm hysterically laughing. My wife's like, dude, you can't, you're the reason. And I'm like, I know, I am she's not gonna do this forever. Like, it's so fun to watch. So it's hard to do away games when I want to come to more home games.
Yeah.
Also,
true.
I don't know anyone in Ohio State. Like, I'm walking around. I don't want to walk around there. I've been to away games before. There's nothing special about being listen, I think it's really cool to travel. But at the same time, like, if I have to pick home or away, I'm always going to go home.
Yeah, of course.
Now, when Maple goes to college, hopefully at Wisconsin, I'll go to every away game. Like, I want to go to all the away games. I just can't. So that's my rant on home versus away. There,
So Bernie, in
Ohio State
for the 2040 season, I think will be Maple's freshman year. I think what I'm hearing is that you and I are getting we're getting the tour bus and we're following the Badgers for the year on the bus.
I would bet anything my wife would be like, please go.
Yeah.
Do you want to spend the whole entire fall just driving around in a tour bus? Okay, cool. I'll see you in January.
Sounds wonderful. Are you kidding me? We're going to the bowl game. I
keep telling my wife I want to buy an RV and just drive around.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Already in the group chat, Dantes is like, who's coming? We're having a barbecue. We're going crazy. So like, he's going to be fired up.
Oh yeah.
So, if the guys are listening, like, listen, we got your back. We're so excited to watch, and just be rabid dogs, man. You got nothing to lose. We're 15-point underdogs and no one expects us to win except for the guys in the locker room, the guys on this podcast, and hopefully everyone in Wisconsin.
Yeah. And everyone on your group chat.
My group chat's bananas. They think we should win by 40 points every time that's my mindset.
Yeah.
We should win every game.
You should want to know every week. Want to know every week. You know what my goal is to do, Bernie? Want to know every podcast. And I think we are today.
I think we are 1-0.
There we go. All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for us here today. We'll be back later this week with an interview. I think do we have who we've texted about, Bern?
Who?
Alex Erickson.
Ooh, yes. I got to text him back, but yes.
Okay. Yeah. We'll be back later
I went to game day yesterday, on Saturday. I can't think for 1 second right now.
We'll be back later this week with Alex Erickson.
Hopefully.
Yeah, yes. Hopefully. And if not Alex, we have plenty of others that you may be hearing from. So, Bern, great win. And again, until later this week, on Wisconsin.
On Wisconsin, baby.
Thanks for listening to the Believe in Badger Football podcast on the Believe Podcast Network, presented by betonline.ag. If you like what you hear, please subscribe, rate, and review wherever you get your podcasts, and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Believe in Badgers. That's BLEAV in Badgers. Also, make sure to check out our YouTube page for full videos of our podcasts. The show is produced by Matt Perkins and Matt Bernstein, with audio editing and mixing by Matt Perkins. Our theme music is by Matt Blaustein. Thanks again for listening, and on Wisconsin.